नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्णा। Today we continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15. The Pandavas retired timely. Shloka number 12 and 13. Yat तेजसा अथ भगवान युधि शूलपाणिः
यत् तेजस्थाः भगवान् युधि शूलपाणिः
विस्मापितः स गिरिजः अश्रम अदात निजं मे।
स्मापितः सा गिरिजः अस्त्रम् अदान निजाम मे।
अन्ये अपि च अहम् अमुना एव कलेवरेण
अन्ये अपि च अहम् अमुना एव कलेवरेण
प्राप्तः महेन्द्र भवने महत् आसन अर्धम्।
प्राप्तः महेन्द्र भवने महत् आसन आर्धम्।
तत्र एव मे विहरतः भुजदण्डयुग्मम्।
तत्र एव मे विहरतः भुजदण्डयुग्मम्।
गाण्डीव लक्षणम् अराति वधाय देवाः
गाण्डीवलक्षणमराति वधाय देवः।
स इन्द्रः श्रितः यत् अनुभावितम् आजमेड।
स इन्द्रः श्रीता यद् अनुभावितम् आजमीड।
तेन अहम् अद्य मुषितः पुरुषेण भुम्नाः।
तेन अहम् अद्य मुषितः पुरुषेण भूम्नः।
यत् तेजसा अथ भगवान् युधि शूलपाणिः
यत् तेजसा अथ भगवान् युधि शूलपाणिः
विस्मापितः स गिरिज अश्रम अदात निजं मे।
स गिरिजः अस्त्रम् अदात निजं मे।
अन्ये अपि च अहम् अमुना एव कलेवरेण
अन्ये अपि च अहम् अमुन एव कलेवरम्
कलेवरेण प्राप्तः
कलेवरेण
इन्द्र भवने महत् आसन अर्धम्।
प्राप्तः महेन्द्र भवने महत् आसन अर्धम्।
तत्र एव मे विहरत भुजदण्डयुग्मम्।
तत्र एव मे विहरत भुजदण्डयुग्मम्।
गाण्डीव लक्ष्म अराति वदाय देवाः।
गाण्डीवलक्षणमराति वधाय देवः।
स इन्द्राश्रिता यत् अनुभावितम् अजमीड।
स इन्द्रः श्रीता यदनुभावितम् अजामीढः।
तेन अहम् अद्य मुषित पुरुषेण भुम्ना।
तेन अहमद्य मुषितः पुरुषेण भूम्ना।
यत् तेजसा अथ भगवान् युधि शूलपाणिः विस्मापितः स गिरिजः अश्रम अदात निजं मे। अन्ये अपि च अमुना एव कलेवरेण प्राप्तः महेन्द्र भवने महत् आसन अर्धम्। अत्र एव मे विहरत भुजदण्डयुग्मम्। गाण्डीव लक्षणम् अराति वदाय देवाः। सः इन्द्र श्रितः यत् अनुभावितम् आजमीड। तेन अहम् अद्य मुषितः पुरुषेण भुम्नाः।
यत् तेजसा अथ भगवान् युधि शूलपाणिः विस्मापितः स गिरिजः अस्त्रम् अदत्त निजं मे। अन्ये अपि च हम मुन एव कलेवरेण प्राप्तः महेन्द्र भवने महत् आसन अर्धम्। तत्र एव मे विहरत भुजदण्डयुग्मम्। गाण्डीवलक्षणमरा अतिवधाय देवः। स इन्द्रः श्रीता यत् अनुभावितम् आजमीढः। तेन अहमद्य मुषितः पुरुषेण भूम्ना।
आशीष प्रभु जी। ट्रांसलेशन तथा परपट बाय द श्रीला प्रभुपाद, जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। It was by his influence only that in a fight I was able to astonish the personality of God, Lord Shiva, and his wife, the daughter of Mount Himalaya. The sea, Lord Shiva became pleased with me and awarded me his own weapon. Other demigods also delivered their respective weapons to me. And in addition, I was able to reach the heavenly planets in this present body and was allowed a half elevated seat. When I stayed for some days as a guest in the heavenly planets, all the heavenly demigods, including King Indradev, took shelter of my arms, which were marked with the Gandhi bow, to kill the demon named Nivat Kavach. O King, descendant of Ajamid, at the present moment, I am bereft of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose influence I was so powerful. Purport by the Śrīla Prabhupāda, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. By the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, all the demigods, including Lord Shiva, were pleased with Arjuna. The idea is that one who is favored by Lord Shiva or any other demigod may not be necessarily be favored by the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. Ravana was certainly a great devotee of Lord Shiva, but he could not be saved from the wrath of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramchandra. And there are many instances like that in the streets of the Puranas. But here is an instance where we can see that Lord Shiva became pleased even in the fight with Arjuna. The devotees of the Supreme Lord know how to respect the demigods, but the devotees of the demigods sometimes foolishly think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is no greater than the demigods. By such a conception, one becomes an offender and ultimately meets with the same end as Ravana and others. The instances described by Arjuna during his friendly dealings with Lord Sri Krishna are instructive for all who may be convinced by the lessons that one can achieve all favor simply by pleasing the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whereas the devotees or worshippers of the demigods may achieve only partial benefits which are also perishable, just as the demigods themselves are. Another significance of the present uh, verse is that Arjuna, by the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, was able to reach the heavenly planet even with the same body and was honored by the heavenly demigod Indradev, being seated with him half elevated. One can reach the heavenly planets by the pious acts recommended in the Shastras in the category of fruit activities, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.21. When the reactions of such pious acts are spent, the enjoyer is again degraded to this earthly planet. The moon is also on the level with the heavenly planets, and only persons who have performed virtues, only performing sacrifices, giving charity, and undergoing severe austerities can be allowed to enter into the heavenly planets. After the duration of life of the body, Arjuna was allowed to enter into the heavenly planets in the self same body simply by the grace of the Lord. Otherwise, it is not possible to do so. The present attempts to enter into the heavenly planets by the modern scientists will certainly prove futile because such scientists are not on the level of Arjuna. They are ordinary human beings without any assets of sacrifice, charity, or austerities. The material body is influenced by the three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. The present population is more or less influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance, and the symptoms for such influence are exhibited in their becoming very lusty and greedy. Such degraded fellows can hardly approach the higher planetary system above the heavenly planets. There are many other planets also, which only those who are influenced by goodness can reach in heavenly and other planets within the universe. The inhabitants are all highly intelligent, many more times than the human being, and they are all pious in the higher and highest mode of goodness. They are all devotees of the Lord, and although their goodness is not unadulterated, still they are known as demigods, possessing the maximum amount of good qualities possible within material world. The heavenly demigods are certainly more intelligent, powerful, and beautiful, and yet they had to take help from Arjuna because of his Gandhi bow, which was empowered by the grace of Lord Sri Krishna. The Lord is all powerful, and by his grace, his pure devotees can be powerful as he may desire, and there is no limit to it. And when the Lord withdraws his power from anyone, he is powerless by the will of the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Eno Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Sri Yutapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sahadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desha Tarine Vancha Kalpatarubecha Krupa Sindhube Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. We try to understand shloka number 12 and 13. Here, Arjuna is remembering a past experience when he was with the Krishna, and now every event he remembering, he uh, felt uh, he felt nervous, and again they told about the planet, all the heavenly demigods, when he goes to Indraloka, there how he is treated. That point here describing. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, the discussion by Arjuna to Yudhishthira Maharaj continues. Where something unique here is Arjuna is reminding Yudhishthira Maharaj that he is descendant of Ajamedaha. And he is actually admitting that because of being bereft of Krishna, by whose influence he was powerful. And then he gives the reasons how it was. Like he was able to even astonish Lord Shiva in the fight. And not only Shivji, but even Parvati Maya was astonished. So the daughter of Mount Himalaya refers to Parvati Maya. And because of that, Lord Shiva became pleased and awarded him his own weapon, Pashupati Astra. Even other demigods, they also gave their celestial weapons to him. Because of Krishna only, he could reach heavenly planets in his own body and was even given a half elevated seat in the assembly hall. He could stay as guest in heavenly planets. And then he says that his arms, because he was always carrying the Gandiva bow, they were marked with Gandiva bow. And all the demigods as well as Indradev took his help to kill demon Nivatak. But then this was not his success, it was success of Krishna, is what he accepts. So Śrīla Prabhupada explains that those who depend on Krishna become instrument of his divine will. So similarly, Arjuna's reliance on Krishna made him the greatest warrior, not because of his skills, but because Krishna personally guided him. And this same principle is further emphasized in Bhagavad Gita. मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गानि मत्प्रसादात् अरिष्यसि अथ च इति अहंकारात् न श्रोष्यसि विनक्ष्यसि. If you become conscious of me, you'll pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Krishna, because Arjuna was conscious of Krishna, he was supported. In fact, one who is favored by the demigods, even Shivji, they not necessarily will be favored by Krishna. But by the grace of Krishna, all the demigods, including Shivji, can become pleased with the devotee. The reason is very simple, because the devotees of Krishna, they know how to respect the demigods. But the devotees of demigods sometimes foolishly think that Krishna is not greater than the demigods. It's one of the Namaprats. And that is why, because of this aparadh, they never go further in their spiritual life. One can achieve all favors if you simply please Krishna. While those who worship the demigods, they achieve only partial benefits. And even those benefits are something which become destroyed or perished over a period of time, because even demigods themselves are not permanent. Arjuna, because of grace of Krishna, I will say, was able to reach the heavenly planets even in the same body. And he not only reached there, but he was even honored there. He was given a half elevated seat. So even above heavenly planets, there are many other planets. But then those who are in Satugun can go there. And everyone out there is Jnani, intelligent. They are more punya. But then over a period of time, if they are in the material world, they have to come back. All those who are going up, there are all devotees of Lord, though the goodness is not unadulterated. They get the maximum good qualities of goodness, which is possible in material world. They are more powerful, more intelligent, more beautiful, but still they require the help of a devotee, Arjuna. Because Gandiva was empowered by the grace of Lord Krishna. And Krishna is all powerful. So because of his grace, the devotee can become as powerful as Krishna wants. And there is no limit to it. But the moment Krishna withdraws his power, the person will become powerless. And that again is by the will of the Lord. Prabhupada explains that Krishna is the supreme controller. And any power that even demigods have, Shivji has, Indra has, is ultimately coming from Krishna. So these verses, they are highlighting the supreme position of Krishna and how he personally protects and empowers his devotees. When it comes to going to the heavenly planets, one can go there by doing pious acts. And this is recommended in the Shastras, in the Karma Kanda, fruitive activities. Even in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that even if you go there because of your good pious activities, finally you have to come back. तेतम भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकम विशालम क्षिणे पुण्यमर्त्यलोकम विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्म मनु प्रपन्ना गतागतम काम कामा लभन्ते. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. But Arjuna, he was a devotee of Krishna. So he did not have to wait for birth, death, this punya, then go up. No, Krishna was immediately allowed to enter into the heavenly planets in the same body. And that was because of grace of Krishna. Otherwise, it is not possible to do so. Because material body is influenced by the three modes, three gunaha, goodness, passion, ignorance. The real true power is Krishna's mercy. And one who has that power, nothing is impossible for him. In fact, the moment you add Krishna to your life, impossible becomes I am possible. We just need to add Krishna to our life. And Krishna is there with each one of us in the form of a Paramatma, and He is waiting when we'll add Him to our life and all the activities so that impossible becomes I am possible. The true source of power is always Krishna's mercy. In this verse, Arjuna is acknowledging that all his strength, victories, they are due to Krishna. Even when he faced Lord Shivji, who had come in disguise, and he had a battle with Arjuna, he could manage to please him. And that is why Lord Shiva gave the Pashupatastra, which is a very powerful celestial weapon. But then this astonishment to Lord Shiva was not due to Arjuna's capability. It was Krishna's divine arrangement. Prabhupada emphasizes repeatedly in purports that without Krishna's sanction, no one can become powerful. Even the mightiest demigods, they derive their strength from Krishna. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita 7.8. Rasaham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashishuryayo pranamah sarva vedeshu shabdha ke purusham drushu. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. So what it means is that the true strength does not come from personal effort, but from Krishna's mercy. And devotion, it is superior to material strength. Though Arjuna was a great warrior, his abilities were rooted in his devotional service to Krishna. His military victories were not a result of mere skill, but of bhakti yoga. Because Krishna favors those who surrender unto him over those who rely on their own strength. And that is why Krishna's protection is a devotee's greatest wealth. The material wealth can be stolen, it can be destroyed, as we were discussing yesterday morning in one of the classes. The wealth has three options. Either it can be utilized for self, it can be used for charity, or third, it will get destroyed. It is up to us what we allow the wealth to do. And Prabhuji was talking about so many people leaving the bodies, material bodies, with bank balances, which they could have used for self or charity, but then it is wasted. But the greatest wealth is not this wealth. The greatest wealth is Krishna's protection. And Arjuna recalls how Krishna's mercy, he was able to enter Indra's heavenly kingdom and share his throne. So This shows that the devotee is always protected, always blessed by Krishna, even in material as well as celestial realms. Prabhupada ji and Guru Maharaj always tells us that a devotee should not fear any material challenge, because Krishna personally ensures their protection and ultimate success. A devotee is never alone. Krishna is always guiding and shielding them. We know of the episode when during the World War there was bombing going on around where Prabhupada was there, but Prabhupada was busy worshipping. And when people said, Kare, there's bombing going on, please start, please move, he said, no, I have to serve my lordship. They said, no, you are fool, you will be dead. He said, जाके राखे साई मार सके ना कोई. One who is saved by Krishna, no one can kill, and one who is killed by Krishna, no one can save. मारे कृष्णा राखे कोई, राखे कृष्णा मारे. And this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.22 as well, where Krishna says, to those who worship me with exclusive devotion, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So, Arjuna's past histories remind us that Krishna will always protect and uplift his devotees, no matter how difficult the situation could be. There are specific lessons for us from the shloka today. First and foremost is that everything, and especially the strength, comes from Krishna, so we should not become egoistic of it. Arjuna was empowered by Krishna. Similarly, we can achieve great things if Krishna wills and if we surrender to him. Second is devotion is the real qualification. Material abilities are always secondary. Krishna favors sincere devotees over everything else. So devotion is the real qualification. Thirdly, Krishna protects his devotees. Any difficult time, you simply remember Krishna and he's always there taking care of her. Yesterday only we saw how Draupadi was protected. When it comes to say the episode of Durvasa Muni or the efforts to disturb her in the royal assembly, Krishna protects. We know of Prahlad Maharaj, always protected. That is where the fourth learning comes, that we should always remain humble. Despite achieving great victories, Arjuna never became proud. He always acknowledged Krishna as the true source of his success. It is important. Trinadapi sunichena. That is very important quality. Amanina manadena. Another important activity. So let us remember that Krishna's unmatched power, his special mercy upon his devotees is unparalleled. Arjuna was not victorious because of his own, but because of Krishna. So we should be inspired to always depend on Krishna rather than on our abilities. If we surrender to Krishna completely, we too will receive his protection and guidance in our lives. So the ultimate lesson is depend fully on Krishna and he'll take care of everything. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda.